Good morning, everybody. I just thought while I'm having my morning cup of coffee to share with you uh, and to talk to you about my extreme loneliness and extreme aloneness in my marriage. And just confide to you certain aspects of what and how happened and how I feel and the emotional, psychological, spiritual, and physical state that I find myself in because of that. Now, I have invested 15 years in that marriage, and we've known with my wife like 5 years prior to getting married. So that's 15 plus 5, that makes 20 years of, you can call it marriage and relationship. And I have invested a lot of love, affection, effort, time, money, hope, and whatnot. And our marriage is sort of imploding and disintegrating at that very moment, and has been disintegrating for the last couple of years. When I say couple, I just this is an approximative number. Probably, I don't know, not only 2 but 3, 4 years maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. My wife had not mentioned anything more specific or more or clearer. She had mentioned from time to time that we could improve on working things out, things like that. But I had serious problems at work. I had very serious problems at work. And being in another country, not our country of origin, makes things even more difficult. And that being said, I was trying to keep my job, save my job, please my job employer in whatever ways I could. And my job was very effort demanding, time demanding, and skill demanding. And I had multiple issues at work, and my attention was constantly directed to what was going on and what was happening with me at work. As I was the pillar of our family, of my family, I was trying to be able to save and keep my job and subsequently my income so that I can help my family. In other words, I was trying to do all that I could within my physical, emotional, and psychological and spiritual limitations, of course, to save and keep my job and improve my situation. Now, maybe I got a little deviated, but I just wanted to let you know what I think may be the reasons why I, at the time, did not, for a period of time, pay much attention to my wife. It's not because I was alienated from her or because I grew colder towards her or because I wanted to ignore her, but it's because your mind works like that. When you have a big problem or big problems or a major problem, your attention diverts from the small problems to the bigger problem or the major problem until the big or the major problem gets resolved, hopefully, and then you can go back or revert back to normal and to behaving normal and to acting normal. I hope you understand my point. And therefore, my wife took that as I, or blaming me, as if I was the one who was generating the alienation in the family, and I was alienating myself from her, and that I grew cold towards her, which is not true, absolutely not true. And she took it like that. I don't know if that's what she tells me. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. I'm ready to accept that as an argumentation, as a valid argument. I believe to a certain extent what she tells me, and I agree. But rarely in life you can find perfect environment and perfect situations. So both parts in a couple have to have understanding to each other. Now, I have understanding towards her, and but I have told her many times and have explained to her why it may be that sometimes I have not had my attention directed wholly and entirely towards her, and why was it that I was worried and anxious all the time, and it was because of my job and my work related problems that I subconsciously hoped and wanted to resolve firstly and foremostly before I pay attention to my family. Apparently, either she doesn't understand that or she understands that halfway. Now, it just so happened that she withdrew and has stonewalled herself. And apparently, she doesn't love me anymore. and she doesn't really care about me anymore. She cares to the extent that I contribute financially. In other words, she cares about the money that I bring to the household, and therefore I assume that's the reason why she still kind of tolerates me, but she would prefer that I leave, pack my bags and leave and go away and still contribute. So that will be the better option for her. I accept her decision. I accept how she feels. I cannot reverse things. I cannot change the past. I have been trying to change my character and my behavior for the last couple of years, like 2, 3, 4 years. Believe me, it is very, 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 very hard, but I'm doing, like, every day I'm trying to do something to change my character for the good, to improve myself. Now, again, I would like to share with you that it's very painful to be in a marriage where your wife does not respond to your feelings, to your prompts, to your love, and that I find myself in a loneliness and aloneness that I don't even have words in my own native language to describe the way I feel. Like, I drank like 5 or 6 tranquilizers and 5 or 6 sleeping pills last night to be able to fall asleep. That's the amount of anxiety that I have. And that's the deadlock that I find myself in. I am preparing and I'm trying to plan things so that I can, make a smooth transition, leave. Um, doesn't happen that easily, but just pack and leave and let her breathe relaxed and calmly and not bother herself, bother her with my presence, and just let her live her life the way she wants to live it without me. And the pain that I am describing to you is a real, both physical, emotional, and spiritual pain, and it cannot be described. It's a combination, an accumulation of physical, emotional, and even bodily, physiological pain and suffering, combined with severe anxiety and depression, I would say. Thank you very much for listening.